So
Right.
let
All
so
right.
let's get into some introductions. So please introduce yourself in the chat. Put your name, how's your fall season going, and what's your favorite go-to healthy meal or snack when you're short on time? And I'm gonna add mine in the chat as well too. You can hear the typing.
Say that question one more time. I'm sorry.
So it says, what's your favorite go-to healthy meal or snack when you're short on time? And can you see my screen? Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Velda said, favorite meal, a shake or smoothie. Yes, that is so easy to make. Yes, I love a smoothie. Avocado toast. Yes, so easy. Ugh, I love it. Yes, I put cucumber salad. I like to chop up the cucumbers, some tomatoes, and avocado with some olive oil and some lemon juice and salt and pepper. That's it. That's all you need. Very hydrating and filling. And all right. So thank you for those who have shared. And if you do share, by all means, thank you. So before we get into it, let's get into a transitional moment where we will take just 2 deep breaths just to come into this space. So where you are, just close your eyes or lower them for a moment. Exhale the breath that you have now. Take a deep breath in through your nose and take a deep breath out through your nose. Take a deep breath in and take a deep breath out. And let's just do one more for why not. Take a deep breath in, grabbing a little bit more air, and exhale out through your nose. Awesome. Next slide is some affirmations. I love affirmations. I think they could be able to provide you some different energy. Hi, Kenny. Fall is great. Dark chocolate. I just had some today. It was good. It was really good. And green tea. Awesome. So some affirmations. I love affirmations, and I think it's something that you can use in your day-to-day life, especially for someone like myself. I like to say, "Oh, I love drinking water." I know you're probably like, why you keep saying that?" Because you can forget to drink water, and sometimes you may be like, "Oh, it doesn't taste as good as you want to." So you may add your cucumbers or your fruit to it just so you could, like it more. Or maybe you're like, I just want to eat more fruits and vegetables. So you start saying, I love fruits and vegetables. You don't say it one time, but you say it multiple times so that you can be able to understand it, receive it, and allow it to manifest in your life. And so for tonight, what we're all going to do, while you're on mute, we're all going to say these affirmations if you choose to. And so when I count to, I'm going to count to 3. And when I count to 3, we're all going to say these affirmations. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3. I am worthy. I fuel my body with goodness. I am capable of making healthy choices. I nurture my mind, body, and spirit for success. I believe in my capacity to create a healthier lifestyle. And I choose foods that support my physical and mental well being. You could say these every day. You could say these once a week. You could say this before you have your meal, but choose an affirmation if you like to be able to use so that you could be able to reach your nutrition goals or your healthy choices in general. So, with that being said, the agenda for tonight for this mindful cooking, I will introduce Ebony. She will provide tips and tools for this healthy cooking. And then we'll get into the presentation and then we'll close out with any questions or comments that you may have. So with that being said, let me introduce Ebony. I have a pleasure for doing this. She's born and raised in Los Angeles, California. Ebony Westbrook is a very talented woman. She's an author of Taste and See It's Vegan, jewelry designer of ESW Jewelry. She's a singer, songwriter, and also a meditation coach. With her lovely spirit, Miss Westbrook loves to teach others about the joy of healthy eating, self care, and being your authentic self. For more information, you can follow her on her Instagram, Shine with Ebony. And with that being said, let me pass over the mic to you, Ebony, taking over the floor.
Hello. Hello. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. Yes, my name is Ebony Westbrook. Thank you so much, Mashika, for that great introduction. I really appreciate it. I really love the affirmations as well. Very, very nice and beautiful to the spirit. So thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Before I go into it, you may hear some background noise. That's just my little one. I have a 9-month-old, so she is exploring our new place. I just moved. So please forgive me. My little one's pretty adventurous. So anyway, I'm really happy to see everyone tonight. So what we're gonna go make is we're gonna be making a vegan noodle soup. So I'm really excited making this. It's very simple, very simple. All you need is some celery. I just diced up some celery right now. Celery. Any other vegetables, I'm gonna put spinach. I love putting mushrooms, some delicious mushrooms. What kind of mushrooms are these? Baby Bella mushrooms, really delicious. I have my carrots. And then I have my potatoes. I love putting potatoes in here as well. These are the seasonings that I will be using. I love to use nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast gives you that delicious flavor. I know nutritional yeast is it has a cheesy taste to it, but I promise you it's not going to be cheesy at all. This is kind of like the base of your soup that you're going to make. Also, you can have your you could also have chicken stock, or if you want to, but I'm doing vegan. You also can have vegetarian stock or vegan stock. I usually use this. This is a vegan stock right here.
Sorry, where did you get that from? I've never seen that.
Whole Foods.
Okay, thank you.
And they're little cubes. They come in little cubes.
Nice.
So
Okay, thank
I like getting this, or I will get this. And I think they're only like $2 or $3, something like that. But they're really good. And I think you get like at least maybe 6 in here. 6 or I think 6. Yes, 6 or no, 8. I'm sorry, 8 in here. So I already put my water on. You need to have at least maybe 2.5 basically cups of water. So we're gonna wait. I see Kenny over there. He's chefing it up. He's getting the carrots together. So I'm gonna be patient, and we're gonna wait for you, Kenny. So cut your celery, cut your carrots. It doesn't matter how much carrots you want. Whatever, if you want to cut the whole carrot, go ahead. If you want to cut half of it, go ahead. Also, I'm using spinach as well. We're going to leave the spinach last because spinach cooks quicker. But it's good to start putting your potatoes in and your carrots and your celery in. You'll put your stocks in first. You'll put your nutritional yeast. I just put this much of nutritional yeast in. It's up to you how much nutritional yeast you want. And like I said, we're gonna also add some of the seasonings. Did I go through some of the seasonings though already? The nutritional yeast? Did I told you about spice seasoning? This is the magic too. This is the magic.
Where did you get that from?
Whole Foods.
Okay, okay. I've never seen this, so
this is really good. What
is inside of the seasoning?
There is bell pepper, parsley, celery root powder, saffron, oregano, paprika, tomato, rosemary, cinnamon, celery seed ground, Also, there is soy protein, there is nutritional yeast, garlic, orange peel, lemon peel, sweet green, red bell peppers, white peppers, turmeric, rose hips. Yeah, this is the stuff. I love it.
I'm
This is
just
the
in
magic.
shock tonight. I'm just like, you know how you see things, you're like, I've never seen that before. And I'm like, wow. So I'm gonna have to take a trip to Whole Foods because I didn't know. So just a quick question, because I'm putting the instructions in the chat, and I'm also
Okay.
gonna use these instructions to, repost. But you said
Okay.
use the stock, the nutritional yeast, the
Uh-huh.
celery, the carrots, the broth first. That's where you're gonna put in the bowl first.
Yeah. So I already have my water in. I use two. I like to use two cubes because if you use one, it just there's no flavor.
Okay, so two
So
cubes.
I use two. So I just use these two, right? I
Okay.
use that one
Hmm.
garden veggie, and I use one not chicken. And that just spices up your whole like soup. It's delicious. It gives a delicious taste to it.
And
So I'm
so
gonna
you
add
put the
one more.
broth, and
Yep.
then how much water did you put in there?
So I put at least two and a half, like two and a half cups of water. And I'm just waiting for it to boil.
And okay, so wait for the 2.5 cups of water to boil.
Mm-hmm.
And then once it boils, we will add the veggies into it.
Yes, we'll do the hard ones like the celery, carrots, all of that first. If you want to add mushrooms, that's fine too. Nutritional yeast is really good for you. It has all your B vitamins in here. Very, very good. B12s, all of that. Delicious, delicious, delicious. Also, here's another seasoning I like to use: herb sea salt.
What is that? What would be the difference between Himalayan salt or regular, oh, it's sea salt, organic herbs?
So it has leech, onion, parsley, garlic, basil, rosemary, thyme, and kelp.
Wow.
Hi, baby. Somebody wants to join. Yes, that's the stuff right there. She wants to come to the kitchen. She crawled over.
Ah,
Also, this is really good. Complete seasoning.
and this is all again from Whole Foods.
This here, you can get it Safeway.
Ah,
Safeway. Complete seasoning. This is
wow.
really good. This is magic right here, too.
Wow. And so does that have garlic and onions in it or no?
Let me see. It does. Um,
So Kenny, you have that. That's the same thing, Kenny? Okay.
yes, you got it. Yeah, this is the stuff.
Awesome.
This is the complete seasoning. This is magic. I got to get a big one, Kenny. I only got the small one. I got to get the big one. This is delicious.
Oh, awesome. Okay, I have to get hip to that. Awesome.
But
That's
if
up here in New York. It's at Price Right.
We have that
okay,
here.
Okay.
Okay. Price. Okay. Yeah.
and then you know about spike seasoning.
Yes.
I got all the little spike seasonings. So while we wait for Kenny, I'll show you my other spike seasonings.
Please, because I do have when it comes to green peppers, garlic, and onions, they cause a lot of, oh, I've never seen none of this. Wow. Wow.
That's another spike seasoning.
Wow. I've never even heard of this brand till today. And you have the whole brand? The whole line? I'm like, where am I? Okay.
This is magic. These are magic to your food. Yes.
Wow.
So we're just
Wow.
waiting for the stocks to boil the cubes. So the cubes are kind of dissolving. So
Nice.
and then also we're gonna add bay leaves.
Okay. So I have a question for bay leaves. how do you know how many to put into your like food? Like, do you do like 2 leaves or does it depend? Like how do you know if you're doing too much? Because
I put 2 leaves because
okay.
it gives it that fresh taste. You know, it's something about it. It's different. Especially I add it to my pasta, like my spaghetti
Mm,
sauce, my soup, my beans, my vegan, when I make my vegan chicken, things like that to just give it that nice you know, it's really good. Really, really good. You can taste the difference when you don't have it and when you do. So it's really good.
awesome. So I have a question. What tips could you offer to people who are just super busy and they're like, okay, I want to cook at home because I don't want to eat out because if I eat out, I just know it goes against everything that I am trying to do with my goals. But I just need something like, where can I start in terms of if I don't have a lot of time or if I don't even have a lot of resources to be extravagant with my meals? Like how would you say where to start?
Well, I would say like an easy meal.
Hmm.
Well, I would say this is very simple. Make a soup is very simple. You can also I would say soups, salads are really good as well. Uh-oh, bless you. Those are really good. But I will start off for me, I'm a soup person. So I will start off with soup. That's very simple and very easy, especially beans. You can make your beans, chili beans, white beans, you know, and you can just, it's very simple. You can put it in a crock pot or put it in a regular pot. You can eat on that for days. And also you can freeze it. So yeah, and just throw it in the microwave, you know?
Good idea. You're right, because you really could take all your leftover veggies that you have over the week and you're like, I don't know what to do. Like, just put it into a soup, like crock pot, and call it a day.
And call it a day because especially I'm a teacher as well. So would it be inappropriate to
No,
have,
set your vibe. Set
oh,
your
go
vibe.
ahead. Do you? Do
Set your
you? It's
vibe.
just only us. Do you? Do you? Yeah. So I will say, yeah, I'm a teacher, so I'm super busy. So this year is perfect. Boom. Soup. Me and her been eating this the whole week. So we making another one.
I love it. I
So
love
this
it.
is
So what
perfect.
could you offer for like a breakfast easy go-to? Something that people could do.
So for breakfast, um, I would say breakfast. I love like the smoothie is good. If you do want your carbs, I ain't gonna lie, I love my carbs. I like the avocado toast is really good with something, a nice good slice of fruit. Also, I like eggs. So I don't eat regular eggs. I eat vegan eggs. Are you guys familiar with just egg? Okay.
A
So
long
they
time a long time ago, just egg, not today, just egg, if that makes sense.
oh,
You know how like over time they get better with their recipes because I want to be like, oh, I didn't like it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that was when they first came out. And I don't know if the the recipe has changed to be like, oh, I can't hold it against, when it first came out versus today. It's like
Right.
vegan cheese, like before it used to didn't melt. Now it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I love it. It's like regular cheese at this point.
Right, right, right. I feel you. Yeah. So usually I do the just egg and scramble it, put some mushrooms, peppers, and I like to have that, put that on top of my avocado toast and call it a day.
Nice.
Or some oatmeal. You can always do oatmeal. I love doing banana nut oatmeal. You know, get some
Mm,
walnuts, sliced bananas, cinnamon, vegan butter. Yep, and call it a day.
awesome.
I picked some wild morel mushrooms a couple years ago and dried them out in the sun on a screen like you're supposed to. Would they be too strong for this to add them? I haven't used them.
Ooh. I mean, if you want to try, maybe put one or two just to see. If you
That's
want to.
that's the one thing about cooking. It's like you're really creating because
Exactly.
it's like what do you think? Like what does your intuition or like, oh, maybe I add a little bit of this.
Right.
That's cool. You can get
Right.
so creative.
And that's the thing about vegan cooking. It's really, really good.
Oh wow.
Wow. Let me, ooh.
That's the mushroom. Wow.
See how it, ooh, yeah. I mean, if
Wow.
you wanted to put a few of them in there, try it out.
That is so cool.
That is cool.
Awesome.
Ooh, okay. So what I'm about to do is add some of these celeries. My stock is starting to melt. The cubes. Add some celery to the mix. Add my potatoes. I'm adding my carrots. I'm gonna add a few things of mushrooms as well. My baby bella mushrooms.
I
And
grew,
also, if you want,
I
with your
grew these
soup.
potatoes myself.
You said what? Oh, okay. But also with your soup, if you want to have a grilled cheese sandwich, go ahead, dip that with it. Now, I think I'm gonna make a grilled cheese sandwich. I like to use Life. Are you guys familiar with the Life cheese? Yeah, that's a cheese that melts. I'm gonna put some nutritional yeast in here. So it should look like this. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I have. So this is what I have.
Ooh, that looks so pretty. Can you keep that right there so I can take a photo of that? Oh wow, that looks gorgeous. Look at that. Wow, so pretty. You
And
see
what you
those
like?
colors?
Yes, yes. Also, if you like, you can also add a little bit of parsley. So I'm gonna get some parsley. And you can buy your parsley anywhere. I like to get this much because again, want to make it fresh, you know? Have a little freshness in your soup. And then all I'm gonna do is basically put some parsley in here. And all right now, I'm just gonna wait, let this simmer. I'm gonna my seasonings that I shared with you guys. I have shared some spice seasoning. I'm not gonna overdo it, just a little bit. Just sprinkle, 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 right? That's that. This here, shared earlier, just put a little bit in there. That's it. Add the complete seasoning. Yum, yum. And after that, I'm gonna add 2 bay leaves. Because you know, when you take a nice, delicious bite of your soup, it's very, very, fresh. For me, I like it fresh. I like it herby. That's just me. Especially if you have a cold or a stuffy nose. Look, me and her, we both got stuffy noses. This is what we've been eating on and making. So with that said, all of this is gonna simmer. I'm gonna wait till the water boils. Once it boils, then I'm gonna add my noodles.
Mm, got it.
And let those noodles simmer and cook. And then we're just gonna let all the
I have a
season
question.
boil.
If you
Yes.
wanted to make it spicy, what would you do to make it spicy?
Oh, you can put a little cayenne pepper if you want, or pepper flakes. So
Oh, yes, is that the jalapeno?
yeah.
Oh, I know that. Oh, look at
Ooh,
the
that,
ideas. Oh, those are peppers. Is those pepper? Oh,
yeah.
oh, yes.
See, Kitty, you chefing it up already. Chefing it up already. Oh, and then I'm gonna also, I forgot, I usually would add this in here too. It's a veggie blend. I get this from Zaresh.com. She makes her own seasonings as well. This here has hemp, spinach, kale, carrot, beets, asparagus, cabbage, and tomato. It's Potter. It's like mashed into a Potter.
It's called, what's the brand again?
It's called hemp protein blend, but it's called Zaresh, ZURESH.com. And I put a little bit of this in here too. It's hemp protein. So this is pretty good as well. We're just gonna let that simmer cook. I'm gonna put a top on top of it. Top. Just let that simmer.
Not too shabby.
Simple. See, very, very simple.
And so basically, once it boils, after it's like, you know, simmering, you add the noodles probably like what? After it start boiling, right?
Basically, when the water boils, that's when you add the noodles. Let those cook.
And
Once
then
it's ready.
And then you add your spinach last, like once it's
last, because you don't want to add that early because it'll take all the nutrients out. So
makes
yeah.
sense. That makes so much sense. Wow. And I guess it probably will be a little different in terms of the timing if you put your potatoes in, because potatoes cook a little bit longer.
Exactly. That's why you put the carrots and potatoes in, let them simmer together, and the celery.
Nice, nice. Nice. What other, let's see, let me think of some questions that people can know. So how did you get into vegan chef? How did you become a vegan chef?
Well, it all started with COVID. I would say, well, first of all, I've been a vegan for 7 years. But with COVID happening, things were shut down, food places were shut down, you know. So altogether, being on the go all the time, and now you have to stay put, I had to literally learn to be like, okay, well, instead of going out to eat, we could actually just, you know, go to the store, get what we need to get, and we can learn to cook. I will say for me, I just start having ideas of what to cook. And I'm like, hey, how about if I do this and do this? Especially having so much time on your hands and there's really nothing else to do to kill the time. I said, well, you know, I want to see if I try this. Let me try this and put this together and see how this goes. And I'm the one who's only eating it. And then sometimes I have my friends come by. I know they told us to social distance, but I'm like, look, come by and try this. They're like, it looks good. We on our way. And they loved it to the point it really made me be like, you know what? I'm going to do a cookbook. I want to see how this goes. So I put my cookbook out back in 2021. And so far, everything's been going pretty well. And I'm really loving the fact that, you know, people are inspired in wanting to eat vegan, because it doesn't have to be boring. It's all about being creative, right? It's all about how you want your food to be. You know, some people can't do 100% vegan, but it's okay if you want to put a little vegan in here and want to have your meat here, then that's on you. But at least there's some kind of health. At least you're being healthy in some kind of way, and also being flexible in your diet as well, because, you know, health is wealth, and you got only one body and one mind, and you want to keep it and keep moving strong, you know?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. You know, it's always interesting to see how people are led into their journey and like how they just stumbled upon it, you know, like, oh, so like you probably didn't 7 years ago, did you know you was going to be a vegan chef?
No, no. And how it all started, because I decided to fast. I felt in my spirit I needed to fast. And I just decided not to eat any meats or sweets. And then when I kept going, I'm like, well, I'm not going to eat any bread. I'm not going to eat any eggs. I'm not going to eat any. And I just started eliminating a lot of stuff out of my diet. And then I noticed I lost a lot of weight. And I'm like, okay, that's it. Let's, but, you know, I just noticed that my body felt good if I ate this way. I noticed I had more energy. I felt leaner. I feel faster. I feel more focused, like everything just started coming into mind. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. How do you feel about meal prep?
Meal prep. I really feel that that's a great thing to do. I'm like I said, I just moved, so I'm starting to do it now, do my meal prepping, starting that again. But I would say it's really, really, really good. Meal prepping. I think that's really good. Like I said, if you make your soups or whatever food that you want to make and just have that for the whole week, you'll be fine.
Awesome. Kenny, how are you doing over there? Is good?
Yeah, everything's water because I have a lot of vegetables in there. It's more of a stew at this point.
Yay.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Bill, do you have any questions? Anything you would like to know? You can add in the chat or you can say it. I guess
Actually, I'm just listening because I need to be preparing to leave the house soon, so I'm listening.
I love it.
Awesome. Awesome.
I love it. You know, when it comes to cooking and I'll say last year I did a challenge. I did a 30-day eat at home. I didn't do any fast food for 30 days. And ever since I've done that, it's been really hard to eat out because I feel like my food tastes better. I'm like, if I go out to eat, I'm like, I could have made it like this. Or like, I feel like I'm a chef. So I'm like, I mean, this is good, but you know, I
Right.
can make this better. And then I think about, I think I'm at this space that with the amount that you spend out, you really could take that money and spend for groceries for like 2 weeks.
Right.
So I don't know if I'm at that age where I'm like, does this like make sense? Because I'm making this better at home and I'm saving a bang for my buck. So that's been a new thing for me, just like, oh. And then I'll say one last thing that I like to do is last year every month I make 2 new recipes. So I go on Pinterest and I'm a pescatarian. I don't eat dairy, so I'm on a plant-based diet. And so I go on Pinterest and I look up recipes and I'll write them down for the month and I say, all right, let's try two new recipes. I think this started probably in COVID because I think I needed something to do. And so every month I've just been creating like new meals. Like one month I did strawberry oat. Ooh, look at
That's how it needs
that.
to look.
Wow.
So now it's boiled.
Oh, yes.
So now it's boiled.
I love it.
We could add our noodles now.
And what kind of noodles do you have? Huh, I never seen, well, I don't think I've seen those
I
before.
never heard of them, but I mean, I never knew they were called this, but
I think so. Okay. I'm like, I've seen it, but I didn't know. Okay. Fusuni.
and we're just gonna add the noodles. Not gonna add all of them. There we go. Just add a little bit of noodles. And that's it. Now all we gotta do is wait. Wait for that to be done.
Have you seen this? The noodles,
Are those the stuffed shells?
just no, they come in. They're made with. I'm sorry. They're faux noodles. They're made with brown rice.
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
One or two or three,
Okay.
and I got them in Aldi.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Audie.
Yeah, and they got the ramen also, but they're similar to ramen, but ramen's made with white rice.
Right.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go.
Me too.
Yeah, I like them.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. You know, I'm in gratitude.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh,
I'm going to Whole Foods and Aldi's.
I know Whole Foods. I wish we had one. I live in the country. We don't have Whole Foods, but you can order anything online now. I got to get some of that yeast. I looked it up yesterday and read all about it, and I don't know how I never knew about it.
this is amazing. You put on your popcorn. Really good too. I make homemade popcorn. I use this and this. Oh my gosh. This is a great snack. Talking about quick snacks, here you go.
But I'm
You ain't
doing
got to buy popcorn. You make your own popcorn, old-fashioned way, and then boom, put this on there.
perfect.
So good.
I never had nutritional yeast.
Yes, delicious.
I think I've strayed away because I don't know if I thought it was like cheese powder.
It's taste to it though. It really does.
Okay.
I didn't believe it. I thought it was going to be kind of a gimmicky thing like that, like cheese powder. So I looked it up also, and I went to a medical site like WebMD, and they same thing, perfect, great for you. I don't know why everybody's not using it.
Well, I'm gonna have to get some because I mean I've seen it. I just strayed away. I was just like, oh, okay. Yes, I need to get my seasoning cabinet up to par because I'm very basic. I just really have like Himalayan salt, black pepper, cayenne pepper, paprika, red crushed peppers, parsley flakes, turmeric. That's all we got. I'm like really basic. I do have some bay leaves, but I'm real basic.
You sound right. Like,
I once I learned that garlic and onion it impacts me, so I'm like on the little low FODMAP because it triggers me. But other than that, a lot of things have garlic and onion in it. If you look at seasoning, so I have to buy everything as is and do like a combination like these seasonings have. Because the moment I see garlic or onion, I'm like, oh no, run. Even though that's like my little cheat day when I do get onions, it's good, but.
and also I did forget you could chop on if you want, but I know you don't, but you can chop onions and bell peppers in your soup if you wanted to. And that's what I forgot to chop. But it's all good. We got enough veggies. Look.
I'm seeing that you could just take everything from your fridge or your freezer and just dump it into a pot like broccoli. Like it's
And
just
make
endless.
and you make the soup.
Now, question for beans, are you adding that when you add the pasta or you add that in the beginning?
But when you have beans,
Beans, like any type of beans.
do you add them in pasta, you said?
No, do you add it in the beginning or at the end?
I add the beans in the beginning. It depends. So if you have like beans in a packet, you want to cook those, you know what I'm saying? You have to add those in with the water, wash them and do all of that, then add them in, right? While you have that, you can put your seasoning and all of that. Don't put the veggies yet, but you can put your seasoning in your stock. So let those beans cook so the beans can soak up that stock. You know what I'm saying? So it won't just taste like a bean. You know, it's more flavor to the bean. So, and after it soaks it in, and they're a little bit cooked, not all the way. It depends if you want them all the way, cool. But if you don't want it too much all the way just yet, that's when you add all your vegetables because again, you don't want to cook the nutrients out of it, you know? So yeah.
Good to know.
And or if you have canned beans, I mean, you can add those first. But you know, for example, sometimes I may feel like I don't feel like making beans. I'll just have the canned red beans, right? Make my own red beans and rice, you know, and do something like that. That's quick too. If you don't feel like, you know,
That's a
but
meal. That is a meal.
you know, but I will say it's good to invest in a crock pot. That's what I do need. But yeah. So yeah. But the noodles are cooking right now. They're not done, but they are boiling. With my stock. Gonna come around, so I'm gonna grab the phone so you can see. So the stock is good. The stock looks really good. That's the stock.
Ooh,
Well, that's
Right.
look at that.
I already added the noodles, but they're not done cooking. So
Do you ever make your own stock?
I can make my own stock. Yeah.
Yeah, I like using leftover vegetables. You just save them in the freezer until you have enough to make a whole
Uh-huh.
quarts of stock. And
I guess how do you make it then? Is it really easy?
just all the vegetables
Yep.
you had, you cut them up, throw them in there, add water. You don't want to put real strong, like no lettuces, of course, but if you use something like what is that called? It tastes like black licorice, anise. That
Amino acid? No, amino liquids.
Are you, is
it's
it a potter?
no, it's a vegetable. It looks like celery almost, but it's you don't want to use too much of that; it'll overpower it. But carrots, lettuce, no
Yeah,
potato,
that would be fennel.
fennel. Yeah,
About to say, I was thinking that or arrowroot, but okay. But I was thinking about a potter.
That looks
Yep.
good.
And the noodles are not done. Are they done? They're not. No, they're not done because they'll stretch out a little more. So that's why I didn't want to dump all the noodles because I don't want it to overtake the stock, you know, and doesn't look like a soup.
I love that. And it's so easy. I've never made soup. I plan to make this weekend, this Sunday, when I
Yeah.
return from vacation. But I do have the ingredients, and the way you just made everything seem so, it's just so simple. And so I have gratitude because I'm like, I could just put everything in a pot. Like, I don't even have to, I just love not wasting things. Like, whenever I have like leftover cucumbers, I'm like, let's add it to your water, girl. Like, so just having things to just add into a pot and like, all right, and it's perfect for this fall winter season because it's just so cold outside. And I can use something that's warm, hearty, but also light. You know, like when you eat soup, you're not like feel so heavy. You still like, oh, I have energy, I'm still feeling great. So I'm in really much gratitude for you just being here, Ebony, and just sharing your gifts with us and just sharing your time and energy to be able to show us how to make a simple but yet very delicious soup that we can not only have for one day, but multiple days. And it doesn't even cost that much, like the price of to make some soup. I mean, if we think about the ingredients, we're probably talking about maybe $15 or less, maybe,
Right.
and if you add tax, maybe $20, but that amount of ingredients may last you for 2 weeks just for soup, right? And so
Right.
that looks like dinner, and you can make. So, I mean, you just showed us how we can make different types of soup. If you wanted to do like a Southwest soup or a chicken noodle soup or a vegan soup, whatever, like we can kind of just, well, what veggies do we have and add into the pot?
I wanted to let you know about talk about chicken. Now, I wanted to do this. I didn't have time because I wanted to go and get it, but I didn't have enough time. I would usually get it at the international store. I will get jackfruit. Now, you want like chicken shreds? You can use the jackfruit, but not the sweet one. But there's the one in a can that all it is, it looks like chicken. You shred it up, season that up. After you season it, put that in your soup. Boom. So it acts like it's a chicken.
Where you get it from?
International store. You can go to any international store and it's in a can.
Okay,
And
but don't get the sweet one.
don't get the sweet one. You don't want no sweet soup.
So how do you know? So I've only seen jackfruit at Trader Joe's, but I've never like read it. So how do you know which one is sweet? Does it say like sweet jackfruit or
So there's a green can. So the jackfruit is in a green can.
okay?
That's water. So it's the color green. Now the one that's not that's the one that's not sweet. It's in a green can. The one that is sweet is brown.
I see it.
Yeah. So get the green can as the water. You don't want to get the brown can because that has syrup.
Got you.
And I usually would use that and season that up first, warm it up, season it up. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, add that last with my soup, because then it will kind of like shred and it look like chicken. So it's kind of mocking, like you're eating actually chicken noodle soup.
Got you. So basically just read the back of the ingredients and I can see if they put sugar in it or water.
Exactly.
Awesome. Because I mean, I've never had jackfruit, so I don't even know what it tastes like. But at
It's
this point, I've acknowledged that a lot of things come back to texture and seasonings. So,
yeah.
Awesome. 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 Well, it is 7 o'clock and we're almost at the end of tonight's session. And
Yes.
so, Kenny, do you have any comments? You know, how's your soup looking?
It looks great. I added, I did what she did. Had some cubes and doubled the recipe because I cut so much vegetables. So I have a bigger pot now that just boiled. So I'm just gonna mix it up, and I think what I'm gonna do is just put my noodles, my serving, because I live alone, but I have 6 kids and 2 grandkids that visit all the time. And I think I'll put one thing of noodles in it, eat that tonight, and then keep the soup in the fridge, reheat it, boil it, and add the noodles to the family when they come over. You know,
That's smart. Yeah, I like that.
great. I loved it. You made me rush.
Yay.
Such a,
Awesome.
you made me rush, and I just chopped it up and threw it in. It's just as good as doing it perfect.
I didn't want to try to make you rush. I'm sorry. I just wanted like.
That's what I mean, because I'm too much of a perfectionist, and it's
Okay.
but you
Okay.
just 10 minutes to make dinner. You know, still got to heat the water and stuff. That was
Okay.
great.
Thank you. I'm glad you were here and enjoyed it. Thank you.
Whoever, mindful. I liked it. I liked it.
Yes. Awesome. Yay.
I love Minnesota. I used to live in Jessup,
Okay,
Oh,
not too
wow.
far.
Okay.
and I lived in Fort Belvoir, Virginia. I lived down there for a while.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not far at all.
That's not.
Awesome.
My daughter was born in just down the road from Jessup. What is that town? Loretta or It's near Baltimore.
Laurel?
Laurel, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we're at. We're in Prince George's County. Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Velda, for just joining in. I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate